the hottest team in the NHL, without question, right now is the Columbus Blue Jackets. A 15-game win streak now as they take that into the new year. This after ending Minnesota's 12-game win streak. And I thought it was interesting, EJ, certainly to hear this from hockey players who are they're very nice. They're the best to interview, but they say a lot of cliches and very matter-of-fact answers. But I saw where several of the Blue Jackets players were saying, you know what? They admitted they're gunning for the Pittsburgh Penguins record of 17 straight. How surprised are you to hear that?
Well, I'm a little surprised to hear it, but I think it just shows you that the athlete, even in hockey, where, as you point out, the athlete is pretty modest in hockey or, conservative, let's say, in what they talk about publicly, that even in hockey it's changed a little bit, and they've gotten close enough to that number now where I guess they feel it's okay to comment about it. So I think it's more an indication of how the sports world has changed and how even in hockey it's kind of been a different story. But they've been an amazing situation with the Columbus Blue Jackets because they started the season with a pair of losses. It looked like, and this is a team that has historically had these, especially over the last 5 years, had terrible starts to their season that kind of limited their opportunities moving forward. And it looked like they were going to go down that path again. So they lose their first 2 games. Well, they've only had 3 regulation losses since then and 7 losses of any kind since that point. And here they are sitting with 56 points atop the National Hockey League standings. So it's been an amazing story. And, they've got a good one coming up against the Edmonton Oilers on home ice on the 3rd. And that'll be fun to see Connor McDavid and that group try to end the streak. And then they go to Washington to take on Alex Ovechkin and company to try to match it. So they got their work cut out for them, but it is interesting that they would even hint at looking past the next game.
EJ, I covered John Tortorella when he was head coach of the Rangers, and one of my favorite parts about Torts was that he would always give you a really fiery quote, and he always seemed to be really up, and his energy level was really intense. That high-intensity guy, he's kind of maybe taken a little bit of a step back in Columbus, but it's working for him regardless of what he's doing. Why do you think that is?
Well, I mean, let's wait until he loses 4 in a row before we make a decision on if he's changed for life here.
Uh-huh.
But I think that we all, hopefully get smarter as we go through life. I think we tend to. There is a little bit of mellowing that takes place, I think, in understanding how the world works and whatever jobs we do. I think John Tortorella was humbled a little bit by the situation that he went through in Vancouver, and then wondering perhaps if he was going to get another opportunity. He got the chance to coach Team USA at the World Cup of Hockey. That did not go really as hoped. So, I'm sure that John has gone through a number of different things over the last couple of years that have maybe changed his views on certain things. But at the end of the day, I mean, for me, this is still a pretty intense guy and someone that really wants to win, and he's done a terrific job with this team. At this point, it's a young team. He's gotten them to this level where they really are playing for each other, which I think is always important. I mean, just watching these guys interact with one another during the games, I think shows you how much they really care about their teammates that are working for one another, and that's always part of a successful hockey team. So I think Tortorella's done a terrific job, but I want to wait until there's going to be losses. There's going to be some cloudy days along the way. When you think about March for the Blue Jackets, they play 16 games in 30 days in March with 5 sets of back-to-back. So right now things are great. We'll see how he is when things start to turn the other way, as they inevitably